What if I told you that the greatest difference between success and failure is not talent, money, or intelligence, but something far more important? This is the story of a boy who had everything he needed to succeed, but one mistake nearly ruined his future forever. Karan had everything: a sharp mind, great potential, and endless opportunities. But he made one mistake that almost destroyed his future. He wasted time. He always thought there was plenty of time to do everything later. Until one day, time ran out. What happened next changed his life forever. By the end of this journey, Karan would learn the greatest lesson of his life, a lesson that could change yours too. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by green fields and a flowing river, there lived a boy named Karan. He was known for his intelligence, and his teachers often praised his sharp mind. His parents believed he would achieve great success in life. But Karan had one weakness: he wasted too much time. Instead of focusing on his studies, he spent his days playing, chatting with friends, and engaging in meaningless distractions. Whenever his parents reminded him to study, he laughed and said there was plenty of time to do everything later. He believed that life was long and that one day, when needed, he would start working hard. Until then, he just wanted to enjoy himself. The annual school exams arrived, and Karan walked into the examination hall with confidence. He assumed that his intelligence alone would be enough. As he looked at the exam paper, he suddenly realized that the questions seemed unfamiliar. He had seen them before in his books, but he had not prepared. His hands became sweaty as he tried to recall the answers, but his mind was blank. The time he had wasted on games and distractions came rushing back to him, and he struggled to write something meaningful. When the results were announced, Karan was shocked. He had failed. His teachers, who once praised him, now looked at him with disappointment. His classmates, who admired his intelligence, were surprised. Some of them even distanced themselves from him, as they no longer saw him as someone to look up to. The worst part was seeing the sadness in his parents' eyes. They did not scold him, nor did they express anger. They simply looked at him with quiet disappointment, which was far worse than any punishment. That night, Karan could not sleep. He kept thinking about how he had wasted his time, how he had ignored the warnings, and how his belief that he would always have time had led to his failure. He felt helpless and ashamed. In search of guidance, he went to his grandfather, a wise and respected man in the village. Sitting beside his grandfather, Karan shared his struggles, his regret, and his confusion. His grandfather listened patiently and then told him a story that would change his life forever. Many years ago, in a powerful kingdom, there lived a great king named Virat. He had everything: wealth, strength, and the admiration of his people. His palace was filled with gold, his army was strong, and his kingdom flourished. But despite all this, he had a bad habit. He wasted time. Instead of attending important meetings, he spent his days in leisure, surrounded by entertainment and distractions. His ministers advised him to focus on his responsibilities, but he always said that there was plenty of time. He believed that when the time came, he would take his duties seriously. One day, a wise sage visited the kingdom and requested to meet the king. The sage was known for his wisdom and foresight, and people respected his advice. When he met the king, he spoke to him about the importance of time. He told the king that time was the most valuable treasure a person could have. He warned him that if he did not use his time wisely, he would regret it one day. But the king laughed at the sage's words and dismissed them, believing that he had all the time in the world. Years passed, and the kingdom began to weaken. Enemies grew stronger, the army became undisciplined, and the people started losing faith in their leader. But the king remained the same, believing that things would fix themselves in time. However, time did not wait for him. His enemies launched an attack, and his army, unprepared and weak, suffered heavy losses. His ministers, who once supported him, started to question his leadership. His people, who once admired him, began to look for a new leader. The kingdom that was once the strongest in the land was now struggling to survive. The king, now older and weaker, realized that he had wasted his best years. He searched for the sage, hoping for guidance, but the sage was nowhere to be found. He tried to correct his mistakes, but it was too late. His army was weak, his kingdom was crumbling, and no amount of wealth could buy back the time he had lost. As he lay on his bed in his final days, he regretted every moment he had wasted. He understood now that time was the real treasure, but the realization had come too late. Hearing this story, Karan felt as if his own life was being reflected in it. He had been just like the king, believing that time was endless, that he could always do things later. But now he understood the truth. Time never waits. Every moment wasted is a moment lost forever. He realized that if he continued down this path, he would face the same regret that the king had. Unlike the king, Karan still had time to change. From that day forward, he made a decision to use his time wisely. He woke up early, created a routine, and focused on his studies. He avoided distractions and disciplined himself to complete his tasks on time. At first, it was difficult. He felt tempted to return to his old habits, but he reminded himself of the king's story. Every time he felt like wasting time, he thought about the regret he had felt after failing his exams. As weeks passed, Karan started noticing a difference. His mind became sharper, and he understood his subjects better. His teachers saw his efforts and began to praise him again. His parents, who once looked at him with disappointment, now smiled with pride. He felt a sense of control over his life that he had never felt before. He no longer feared failure because he knew he was doing his best every single day. When the next exams arrived, Karan walked into the examination hall feeling prepared. This time, as he looked at the questions, he did not panic. He knew the answers because he had studied, practiced, and made every moment count. When the results were announced, Karan had not only passed, but he was among the top students in his class. As the years went by, Karan continued to use his time wisely. He developed strong habits, worked hard, and achieved great success. He became a respected leader, someone others looked up to, not because of luck or intelligence, but because he had learned the true value of time. He never forgot his grandfather's story, and whenever he met young students who struggled with procrastination, he shared the same lesson that had changed his life. Karan's journey taught him that success is not about how smart or talented someone is, it is about how well they use their time. Every person has the same number of hours in a day, but the difference between success and failure is how those hours are spent. Time is the most valuable treasure, and once it is gone, it never returns. Those who understand its value early will always stay ahead in life. Karan's story teaches us a powerful lesson. Time is the only thing we can never get back. Every wasted moment is an opportunity lost. Success does not come from talent alone, but from discipline, consistency, and valuing time. We all have 24 hours every day. The only difference is how we use them. Will you waste time like the king, or will you use it wisely like Karan? How much time have you already lost? More importantly, how much time do you still have? Start today. Value your time. Make every moment count. Like, share, and comment if this story inspired you. Subscribe for more life-changing motivational stories.